Hey folks, Taco here. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone who I didn't wish a happy Thanksgiving to already. But happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's December 1st now, Sunday. And I've got some snow outside. I don't know if you guys can see it's probably a little washed out. But we got back from the farm. I made my Thanksgiving, you know, dressing, stuffing, whatever you want to call it. All the animals had a great time. It snowed the whole time there too. So we just built a lot of fires, did some cleaning, did some wallpaper stripping, you know, not a whole lot of exciting stuff, but it was nice. It was time with my family that I see every time I go home on the weekends. But now it's time for another bonsai video. So I've got in front of me. This is almost unrecognizable from where it used to be. It's one of my Ginseng ficus. And then this one is my root over rock ficus benjamina. This one I believe is microcarpa. I don't know that any of the grafted branches have made it. I don't think these are grafted. I think all the grafted stuff was in the center here. But today I'm going to prune this a little bit more into shape. It's nice I'm getting these thick branches, but I don't want to get too thick. I don't want to get too long. And then this one, because I want to correct any branches that are in the wrong direction. And I'm starting to get those. So I got to work on that. We'll pop right in and get started on this. So first things first. Oh, and this is Nina in the background. We all know her. She's a good girl. We're going to start off with that. And easiest to see is probably that this is growing up and this is growing out. I like all that. In fact, I've got some new leaves here, so that's exciting. But I don't want it to be so crazy out here. So I'm going to prune it back here, peel that off. And then this branch is growing in. I don't want that either. So I'm going to take completely off. I'd rather have more stuff down below, but as it is there, I've got, this branch, which is doing okay. I can take off the top here where I pruned it last time, and all the other stuff. Now this one down here, it's probably easiest to see from that view. It is growing kind of out on the point where that branch is. I'm okay with that. It's already got a nice fat top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down to a leaf that's going out. This one here. So that way maybe I'll get some more filling in over there. Now, this other branch here, this whole other side, still needs to be taken back in. I'd love to take this back further, but I just really don't have the confidence to hard prune this, at least of all with its lack of growth this past year. So this is all I'm getting out of that. This is an old leaf. My new branch already started there, so I'll take it off. And same thing here. And same thing here. Sorry. A little bit, but those are older leaves, so don't need those. We'll just let that grow with the leaves it's got on it. Now, on this side, I am quite pleased with what I've got. I didn't prune nearly far enough back last time, and I'm going to prune farther back this time to right here. So although I'd already pruned that, taking this back rather hard to an outward facing leaf. This one didn't seem to exhibit much growth, so I'm going to leave it. And this one here, looks like I also pruned that off there, but despite all this strong, compact growth up here, I'm not sure I want that branch at all. So I suppose I can keep that. This is doing okay. This is a separate branch, and it's growing off of that one. So now I've really got this down to like 1 to 3. I have one cut up in the middle here. I'll just clear out because it's just a little teeny tiny leaf. Now I'll take off this old leaf. I'll take the tip off of this to help encourage some ramification. Over here, I've got an old leaf. This is now not for me, and an old leaf. That's kind of a long section here where there's not much going on, but I have to see what happens. I'm not really intent on trying to kill this thing just now, and I've already taken off a lot of foliage already. Over here, I believe this is dead right here. Yep, it was, so that's coming off. old bit from pruning. And then I've got this extension that's coming out now. To get a better view of that, I kind of need to turn it to here. Comes out, it's actually pretty decent movement to it, but it's really long. And it's not really doing what I want it to do. I'll leave the shorter part of that branch, but for here, take it back to this little bundle right here. I hope I get some back budding. I'm not going for perfect. I'm not going for pretty. I really had this sort of headed in the direction I wanted. You can see I got a lot of dead stuff in here. And it went sideways. I had a lot of dieback, a lot of pests. And now I'm looking to resolve that. So because there's all these dead bits here, I'm going to put them back some. Clean it up. Barely even touch the living tissue there, which is what I want. I want to see some living tissue before I go, maybe. This one in here I can get with my Prune shears here. Yeah. Now, this is all the, grafted bit, but I'm gonna do some trimming on it to see if I can get some sort of healing, maybe some back budding. That was one, I don't know if it was thrown down below or what. So it's not looking too bad. Perfect? Absolutely not. It's not looking too bad. Dead stuff off there, it feels better. I mean, I've got branching, and that's what I want. And over here, I don't really like this part coming up so far. And I've got the branch down here and the branch right here, which is actually coming in the wrong direction. But it gives me a lot of taper if I take this off. But no, I'm gonna leave it for now. Okay. So, not a very impressive bonsai, but that's how it looks now. It's gonna have to do a lot of growing. Before it had things coming up here and all kinds of branches everywhere. It's gonna take a while to get back to that. I will continue to work towards that, but it's gonna take a while to get that back. There was already a lot of development, whether it looked like it, there's a lot of development already in this tree. So hopefully I get some of that progress back. Now, took quite a bit off of it, not a whole lot left, but I think that it's necessary to do so just to make sure this thing grows properly. Now, this one's a little more fun. It's a little more, well, a little more solely developed. I did most of the developing on this. I know a lot more of what's going on with it. This is a cutting I've got coming over a rock here. You can probably just barely see the rock right there. And before I worry about the top, which is, from here, another 6 inches up, I'm going to worry about these branches in here. Got a little spot there that's not necessary. Look at that heel. I've got these branches here, not necessary, and I'll leave that because nothing's growing out there. There's an older leaf, I believe. Yeah, it's an older leaf. Let's get it off. And these branches aren't really growing in good directions, Like this one is growing like that. The other one's growing like this. They're kind of just growing the wrong way on me. I'm not sure I can say they have good flow. They're coming off. That's the one. And this one's coming off at a right angle. I'd really like to keep this a nice tree. So that's going to come off too. Now, that's easy, of course, to address. That's super simple. Angled up a little bit more. Super simple procedure there. Use that wobbling too much. Uncut, guys. If you can believe it or not. All right. Now, let's see. A little high. Not too bad. All right, now, I've got, these little branches here. This one's doing all right. I like that branch. And then it splits here. So if that grows and this doesn't, I'll be kind of disappointed. But it's really not a bad branch. I'll just have to redirect it once it gets a little bit of life into it. I've got one growing across here. I know I do not want. Take that off. Ooh. And this one here comes up, and again it splits. It's an old leaf with sunburn on it. And it's got this branch here coming off. I like that branch. It splits again all the way out here. And then each one of those looks like they're starting to split as well. So if I don't work on this, I'm going to lose a lot of the taper that I'd like. I'm going to come here, take off this whole section off the end, just to bring it back in a little bit. And here, solar leaf. Really, this is heading in a good direction, but I just got too much going on there. So I'm going to take it back to the first leaf. It probably isn't heading in the right direction, but I think I've got a bud here growing more straight up, and that's what I really want. Ooh, there we go. Almost didn't get that. Dull tools are not good. So that branch is a little better. It is kind of growing back in, but depending on what I pick for the, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna take this off all the way back here. Keep it growing out. It does sort of cross over depending on the view, but I think my friend is going to be somewhere around there. At that point, it's not so bad. Now, I'm going to see about the top part up here. The first branch comes across here, and that what determines whether or not this is growing across or not. I do still want some buds down here, but I haven't seen them yet. It's got a branch growing down. Don't want a branch growing down. I'm going to take that off. And then this one's growing straight up. I'm going to take that off. That's this at the end there. I've got old leaf and old leaf. See that very well. There we go. That's a better view. So really now it just bifurcates. I will take the tips off of these to make sure that I've got back budding and ramification started. At least the back budding. The ramification probably won't start anytime soon because it's such a young tree still. But take it back to that. Just the tip. And then hopefully this will back bud some. Now coming up. There we go. It's got a little branch coming off here. I like it. And then I've got these branches kind of clustered up here. I don't know that these are too close to each other, but they're too close to each other for being, you know, in this part of the tree. I think what I'll try to do is leave all these branches in here, but bring them all back. So this branch I will cut back to first intersection. And there's no old leaves there, so that's good. This one coming off this side, I'm going to take back to first intersection. Again, no old leaves there, so that's good news. And I'll take the tip off this one in the back. Try to get it to grow in some. This portion that's coming up is also pretty nice. Already started to branch out on its own. So I'm going to take it back to those first two branches and leave it be. It's kind of funny, but I think it's the best way to do it. And then coming up here, I've got a nice ability